I hate to break it to you, but not all business events are created equally. I sat through a 4 hour long business conference, so you don't have to now. Let me tell you the real tea. When anyone comes to me, no, I am not ungrateful. I really enjoyed it. Yes, I did learn a lot. But what shocked me the most, right, wasn't what was said, but rather what wasn't said. I realized that if I didn't know what I already know, then I would have left feeling a bit more confused. So, in this video, I'm going to share what I learned, what actually happened, what you can take away from it. Whether you are in business already or still have an idea brewing in your head. So let me set the scene for context. Weather was honestly terrible. If you know the weather here in Cape Town, then you know. You know. But the weather definitely did not stop us. We, my friend and I, that went, we came, we showed out. Outfits were honestly top tier amazing because I firmly believe that you should not wait until you get that job to start dressing like the person that has that job. I believe in dressing like the person that has that job, even if you don't have that job. Because in doing so, you are rooting in your mind, in your conscious, and in your subconscious that you are capable of getting the job, even if you are miles or earth years away from getting that job. If you want to be a CEO, darling, dress like a CEO. And then you'll see exactly what I mean. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. The event was definitely something that I wasn't expecting in the way that they had their line up, the presentations. A few things definitely caught me by surprise. So here are my top three takeaways that I got from this entire event. Number two is honestly extremely underrated and not spoken about enough within the business community. And I know that once I figured it out, it changed my perspective entirely, literally. So stay tuned for that. Number one, you have to look professional on all fronts. You can't have a sloppy looking poster or sloppy looking website or an unprofessional website. For an example, if Johnny and Susie are both in the same business, targeting the same market, and playing for the same customers, offering the same services. The only difference between Johnny and Susie is that Johnny has a professional looking website. His flyers, his posters, everything of his is professional and it's clean. Susie's things are not, they're not as professional. However, she can get the job done better than Johnny. At the end of the day, personally, I would still choose Johnny because number one, I don't know who knows, like just judging off the appearance of their websites and their posters and their flyers, I'm gonna go for the one that looks more professional. Because if you are willing to put much more time into your website and into the aesthetics of everything, then it shows me that you are also willing to put more time into your service, right? And the quality that you're going to offer. I must say that this is not always the case. However, this is the case most of the time. First impressions are everything, whether it is online or in person. Branding is very important, and branding is also part of communication, right? Right. Number two, lucky number two, this is the fact that once I figured it out and once I heard it, it changed the game for me completely. Okay, so listening and listening closely, please. If you are a business owner, I need you to listen in with both ears and eyes. All right. If you are an aspiring business owner, please pay special attention to what I'm about to say. If you forget everything, remember this: what got you to 1K is not going to be the same thing that's going to get you to 10K, and that won't be the same thing that's going to get you to 100K. What do I mean by this? Let's say I want to open up a tuck shop or a spaza shop or a corner shop. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, I'll open up a tuck shop, and my goal is to make 1,000 rand, right? The way that I would package it or market it is that I would get the signs, get the everything, find the products, get the supplier, and start selling. Now I'll sell at the corner of my house and I get 1,000 rand just off by my sales, right? But if I want to get to 10,000 rand, selling by the corner of my house is not going to get me there. It can, things have to change. So instead of just selling by the corner of my house, now I'm thinking, okay, if I were to go to my local schools and open up a few there, then I can do that. If I were to start supplying for other spaza shops that are nearby, I can do that. If I can start my little wholesaling business, still selling the same products just in larger quantities at a higher price, then I can get the okay, boom. Now I've gotten to 10,000 rand a month. Okay, so from 10,000 rand, I want to get to 100,000 rand a month. How am I gonna get there? Something needs to change. So we went from selling at the corner of my house now to wholesaling, now to are you are you getting what I'm getting at? Are you get like okay, I have a tutoring business, right? I tutor kids. And I know that what got me to 1,000 rand a month tutoring, the way that I packaged and marketed my services, is not the same way that is gonna get me to 10,000 rand a month just by teaching kids. I know that okay, I've got to target high school kids because that's where the greatest demand is. Every year there are kids going to high school. Every year there are kids progressing from grade 8 to grade 9 to 10, 10 to 11, especially with the senior phase. There are kids that are struggling with the content. They need help. Okay, that's where I step in. That's my point. In your business, you need to know how to read the room and be willing to pivot. You can't be stiff-necked. Yeah, you need to be flexible. You need to be willing to adjust and to pivot when need be. And the third thing that I learned is this was one of the few things that actually caught me by surprise: insurance. Now, this is something that I didn't know. And I learned that in your business, no matter how small it is, even if it is just a spaza shop, you need to insure yourself, insure the business, and insure whatever equipment that you have. Because in an event of an accident or a fire or a flood or theft, whatever happens, you need to insure, or you need to make sure that your things are insured for your own benefit and for the benefit of the business. When you sit down and you're planning your business, you need to have contingency plans, risk assessment and contingency planning. Insurance needs to be part of that because it is a service that is widely available and it does more good than harm. And I learned it is quite affordable, like 80 rand a month. Not saying that all of them are 80 rand a month. There was a particular bank that was there. I'm not gonna say which one, but in one of the examples that the representatives gave, said that for this particular business, insurance would cost around about 80 rand a month. However, each person's business is special. It is different. I don't work in insurance, so I can't say how much your insurance would pay. Anyways, speak to the right people and get your things insured. Even if it is a one-man business, a solopreneur, get your things insured, honey. If you ever get a chance to attend these events, please go. You literally lose nothing. besides the time that you've used to go. Even if it is just one perspective, one conversation that changes your perspective, it is worth it. Trust me, in this day and age, information is power. Knowledge is power. The guest speakers at these events often charge thousands just for their presence alone. And yet, at these events, they're free. Like, you don't have to pay a thing to be there and to hear them and to hear them speak. You're at a place where you meet like-minded entrepreneurs, like-minded business owners. Go, you lose nothing. But the next time that I walk into a room like that, I want to ensure that my business is not in the same position as it is now. I want to come there able to ask, I want to be there and be able to ask higher level questions, you know. I want growth. And this type of growth only comes by execution and time. So I am quite excited for the next one. I don't know when it is happening. I don't know who's going to host it. I just know the moment I find out about another one, I am going, and I'm going there to learn. If you are serious about growth, but are not able to attend these events, I would highly suggest you read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Chef's kiss. It literally changes the way that you think, changes your brain chemistry. Not literally, but the book's impact is unexplainable. Read it for yourself. You will understand why everyone and their mother tells you to read that book. Okay? Lastly, if you have a business, keep going. I know it's tough, but keep going. And if you are an aspiring business owner, if you've got an idea in your head, start today. If you need funding for that idea, then start a service-based business, something that doesn't need capital or that as much capital as your idea, and then you channel the money that you're getting from your service-based business into your idea or whatever you need. That's what I feel like is easiest, because with service-based businesses, it doesn't require as much upfront capital. Well, that just depends on what service you're doing, but use the proceeds from the service-based business and use it to invest in your dream. Whatever you've been putting off, do it. Let me know in the comments what lesson hit home for you, what really made you stop and think. And if you have ever attended a business event, what did you learn that changed the game? I am in a space where I'm just willing to learn and grow, and I would love to hear from you. Until then, keep building. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.